A 2-0 win for the Dallas Stars in Game 2 as this series is now tied. Gentlemen, our coverage here on the fourth period is brought to you by BitBuy. Use referral code TFP to receive up to $50 in free crypto while terms and conditions apply. Dennis, the star of this show, Jake Ottinger for the Stars.
Yeah, a better Jake Ottinger tonight, a better Dallas Stars team tonight. But I'll be honest with you, 29 saves, but really wasn't tested. Not a lot of 10-bell saves for Jake Ottinger, but that's the type of game that Dallas has to play to win this series, Dave. A 2-0 win. One goal was an empty net, but just a lot like Game 1, but a little bit different in your eyes, right?
Yeah, certainly. We touched on this in the pregame report, how much more physical Dallas was likely to be in this game, and they were. They were tossing the body everywhere. They were trying to get under the skin of the Calgary Flames. We've got a pretty good indicator as to how this series is going to go. Get the lead, buckle things down. And that's effectively what the Dallas Stars ended up doing in this one. But throughout, they were much more physical, much more responsible defensively, and they were able to spread out the opportunities throughout the course of the lineup. It's going to basically be like this for the rest of the haul, depending on how long this series goes.
Joe Pavelski opened the scoring. He signed a deal with the Stars this season, and he was the team's leading point scorer during the regular season. And then he finally, David, gets on the score sheet tonight. I know he didn't, actually shoot the puck, but he did what Joe Pavelski does and tip one past Jacob Markstrom.
One of the best in the National Hockey League in redirecting the puck. But look, this is, again, what we just mentioned. Get the lead and then tighten things up. And they had their opportunities, but this really comes down to, as well, the secondary scoring. I know he's on the top line, but the Dallas Stars needed to create opportunities from a variety of their lines, not just the number one line. Last game, it was their second. Tonight, yes, they got the first one off of the Pavelski unit DB, but they were getting shots and opportunities across the lineup, and that's what they need as well. Stay physical, clamp things down, but create some chances from lines 1 through 4.
Well, look, I'm just going to give them a puncher's chance, but a word of advice to our friends in the Eastern time zone. If you're going to watch this series, a Red Bull and maybe a cup of coffee with caffeine before you tune in, because these games are going to be like this all the way through, as both Dave and Irfaan had mentioned.
Well, Dennis, you did mention that, right? So you look at this game, you look at Game 1, a 1-0 win for the Calgary Flames. Game 2, a 2-0 win, obviously an empty net goal for the Dallas Stars. But both these coaches, I think, with Rick Bowness and Daryl Sutter, are perfectly fine with their teams playing this style of hockey, aren't they?
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, Daryl, the whole season, they've suffocated teams. That was their game plan, but they're squeezing the sticks a little too tight. You look at Tyler Toffoli at the end of the game, looking up at the scoreboard, looking up at the heavens, had an opportunity. It just hasn't been productive, and that's the one question about this team. Once you get to the postseason, there are some guys that Daryl brought in from LA who have championship experience, but a lot of these guys don't. So that's the other question. Will they be able to produce in a big spot?
Well, yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, for the Flames, for the rest of them, baptism by fire, no pun intended. This is a situation and an environment for Calgary and most of their players to learn on the fly. And they're going to have to. It's a 5-game series now, and Daryl's done a tremendous job in getting this team on track. But you've got to be able to respond in the big spots. They're going to be a little bit tighter. Games are going to be just like this. We know exactly how this team is going to go, as we've discussed. Now it's Calgary's turn to get their secondary scoring in order.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for this. The series now tied at 1 game apiece as the Calgary Flames and Dallas Stars head to Dallas for Game 3 on Saturday night.